Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. If you're new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button. If you're back for repeated views, go ahead and hit that like button, especially if you're new as well. All the love and support is appreciated. Today what we're going to do is we're going to do some work to Hulk. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some caliper corrections on this with some G2 paint. So as some of you know, I'm getting the car ready to go to a car show up in Savannah, Georgia in a couple of weeks. A bunch of us HT guys are going to go up there and hang out with Austin and his crew with Street Labs. So I'm trying to make sure that Hulk is ready to go. So without further ado, let's jump into this video. Alright guys, so as you can see, I've taken the wheels off of Hulk, and you're probably wondering, well, why do you need to redo the calipers? They're already green. Well, unfortunately, when I had them powder coated, I don't think enough UV protective additive was added. So as you can see, hopefully the video will show it, the sun is starting to fade the powder coating. Nothing against the guy that powder coated it, not his fault. But here's the back one. It is definitely lighter. And let me walk you around to the other side and kind of show you. Maybe the sun will be better. Yeah, there. That's a better view. As you can see, it's super light. It's not as green as I would like it to be. Same thing with the other front one. And it could be the heat. Could be UV rays, who knows. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to touch them up, or actually I'm going to redo them with this stuff here. So the stuff I'm using, it's this G2 paint. You can get it off Amazon, that's where I got it. Here's all the different colors that you can get, and you can kind of see by the check mark that I went with the lime green, which is almost the same color as what's on there now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep them. I'm going to follow the instructions on the back of the box. As we all know, none of us follow instructions, but with this stuff here, I got to make sure that I'm doing it pretty good. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to prep the calipers. While calipers need not be removed to apply paint, wheel removal is required. Obviously already done. Calipers must be cleaned thoroughly using the enclosed cleaning spray and the wire brush if needed. And then I'm going to mask off the calipers to prevent paint from contacting the discs, the pads, around here, the brake fluid, release valve, and anything else that I can get covered up. So without further ado, let's get this party started. All right, so I got the decals off on both sides. I only had them on the front, not a big deal. But what I'm gonna do now is, again, I follow the instructions right as best as we can. So inside the box of G2 paint, so this here, comes this non-chlorinated brake cleaner. So I'm gonna use this to spray all this down. I'll wipe it down really good, and then I'm gonna start taping it off. All right, so the next step says to use, that's probably the paintbrush. Ooh, fancy dancy. There's the actual paint itself. Again, shows the color. Gotta have the reactor. So you take this and you'll dump it inside of the paint. And what it does, it allows that to harden. What I'm looking for now is the wire brush. Maybe it doesn't come with a wire brush. Oh, it says wire brush if needed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some fine grit sandpaper and just kind of scuff up the powder coat a little bit, just so the paint has something to grab onto. Again, I'm not going to dig into the powder coating, because I just need to scrape it up just enough for the G2 paint to stick to. So let's get started. All right, guys. So I found some 400 grit waterproof abrasive sandpaper in my garage. So let me show you what I'm going to do. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly scuff this up. Yeah, I'm just trying to get something for the G2 paint to grab onto. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just a little something for it to grab onto. I will do this to all 4 of the calipers. YouTube videos of people doing this. I wanted to do it for a while, I just haven't had a chance. But I now have a reason. And again, it's because of the car show that a bunch of us are going up to Goshen and Savannah. I know you painters are going to be out there, oh my god, you're scratching the shit out of your Brembos. Trust me, these things have seen a lot more than what I'm doing to them. So that's what it's going to look like. What I'll do is I'll take some brake cleaner, wipe it all down again, make sure there's no dust or anything on it. But let's do the next one. Again, same thing, just stuffing it up. Just enough to for the paint to grab onto something. Even though I've had the car coming up on 4 years, maybe you have to change the brake pad. The car's only got 46,000 miles on it. I bought it brand new, so I would say probably in the next 6 to 9 months, I'm probably going to have to change the brake pads. And when I do, I will walk you guys through how to do that as well. You guys have anything else you want me to show you on DIYing, fixing your own Camaro 2016 to 2018? I mean, the 2019 and 2021, those are all basically the same, just the body panels changed a little bit. Not a big deal. It's basic maintenance stuff, but you'd be surprised how many people don't do this stuff themselves. You just pay somebody to do it. And again, when I originally had these powder coated, I was like, oh, let's do it once and have somebody do it. I did Zach, killed it. I think that was his first set of calipers that he ever powder coated. Again, I'm not faulting Zach for this. Again, it could be heat related, could be UV related. I have no idea. Just I wasn't happy with the way they were looking, so I gotta fix it, man. Just the way it goes, brother. My sisters, whoever's watching. Hey, drop a comment where you guys are seeing my video from. Just kind of curious how far I'm reaching across the United States, across the globe. Alright, so that's 2 of the 4. I'm just going to repeat the process on the other side, and then what I'll do is I'll show you some footage of me cleaning up with the brake caliper. Alright guys, so what I'm going to use to wash it is the Dawn Power Wash, so it's diluted half and half. Just the same stuff that I use on my tires, and obviously got a little brush. Just get all these little crevices, make sure it's nice and clean. As much as I can, you know what I mean? Let's sit for 2 minutes, let things sing. Alright guys, so I have cleaned all of the calipers. I used the brake cleaner, I used some Dawn Power Wash, and then I used brake cleaner again. Just go back around here, let me kind of show you. What they look like. Whew. Look at that. Hulk's not very happy when I work on him. But what he doesn't know is it's for his to bring out the best in him. There's the other one. There's some Liver Lab badges. And then obviously, there's the other one. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to use some painter's tape. So I got some thick stuff, I got some skinny stuff, and we're gonna tape up this whole area that we do not want any of the G2 paint to get around. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tape up around the bleed screw. That wasn't good. Let me get all the way down. All the way down to where the tape is flush with the caliper, because I don't need the paint seeping down into the bleed screw area, because that would be a bad day. And the reason why I say it'd be a bad day is because if I ever have to take that bleed screw out and I pull it out, it's probably going to pull the paint out as well. So just trying to be very careful on where I'm getting it. So let's do back side here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get in the car and I'm going to turn the wheel. This way it's a little easier to work with. Way easier to work with now. Should have done that when I cleaned it. But you live and learn, right? Live and learn. Don't mind my head in the shot. Make sure I get down here and look. Make sure it's good. Again, all I'm doing is I'm painting the front half. I never painted the back half, which I actually liked. Just it keeps it easier to keep clean. Let's get it here. Don't mind my air compressor. Forgot to shut it off. And I'm going to be using a fine tip brush, so like I don't have to tape it all the way up in here because I'm just going to use a brush. I'll go in there very, very lightly and clean all that up. Let me put you guys on the front side here. You guys can see that. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah. So again, I'm just gonna tape up this whole front side. Anything that I do not want the paint getting on, especially the rotors, that would suck. Let's put this tape over so we can get it in there. Again, what goes into the prep work when you're doing stuff like this? Not saying I'm the best. So you gotta make do with what you have. You know what I mean? Just gotta have some patience. Something a lot of us don't have these days. Again, I'm not super worried because I'm going to be using a little brush, but just try and tape up as much as you can. Alright, so if you notice, I've got these two pins here. These are for the brake pads. I'm just going to be very careful when I go around these with a brush not to actually get those. I might actually try and put some tape on them, so we'll see how it works.
I'm going to be using a fine brush, so it'll be okay if it's like that. Alright, let's go to the other side. Alright, so there's the rear passenger side. I'll take that. It's in the front. Spin the wheel.
Alright guys, so we've done all of the prep for this G2 caliper paint. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the application. So let me read the instructions. So application, only mix paint and reactor just prior to application. Paint system will begin to set in 4 to 6 hours after mixing. Mix materials with the enclosed stir. It's in that little package that I pulled out of the box, so to speak. Allowing 5 minutes to react. Then stir again before painting. Using the enclosed brush, apply a thin, even coat to desired surfaces. Wait 15 minutes before applying a second coat. Note, there will be enough paint for a third coat if needed. Curing, you got to allow 2 hours to cure before reinstalling the wheels and 24 hours before driving the car. And the reason why I would assume they've got that is because it takes 24 hours for all of the chemicals and stuff to fully bond, and you don't want your brake dust getting inside of the paint that you just spent all this time doing on your car. So let's get the reactor and the paint and do some mixing. All right, so here's the little envelope that comes inside the box. Let's open this. Let's open up this puppy. Let's see what's inside. All right, so we've got some instructions. Okay, we got our stir, popsicle stick. We got our brush. We've got helpful hints. Ooh, that's 5 horsepower right there. And then of course we've got some instructions, some further instructions. So let's go stir this paint up. All right, so looking at the helpful hints page. So the paint itself that comes in the box, or I should say the paint inside of it has a shelf life of 24 months. So make sure you check the expiration date or the date it was created on the back of the box. Make sure you're within the 24-month mark. Also, it says paint should be applied in an ambient temperature between 56 and 70 degrees. It's probably almost 60 degrees here today, so perfect time to do this. Also says in relatively low humidity. Being here in Florida, there's no such thing as relatively low humidity, but it is winter, so the humidity is fairly low right now. As you can tell, I'm not sweating or anything. And then it says once the paint and reactor are mixed, there are only 4 to 6 hours worth of working time with the paint. After that, the paint left in the can will harden and will not be reusable, so plan accordingly. Contains the container, the paint can contains 3.5 ounces of paint liquid, and then you get a 1/2 ounce of reactor, yielding 4 liquid ounces when completely mixed. However, the can it comes in is actually an 8-ounce can, so I'll show you that here in just a second. Let me go grab it. Okay, so here's the can of paint. Again, here's the reactor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shake this up really good, and then I'm going to dump this inside of here and stir it up, and then we're going to get to painting some calipers. All right, so I'm going to put some gloves on so I don't get the paint all over my hands. I hate these gloves. They're super cheesy. But it's the only ones I have right now, so I will use them. Again, PPE is always a must. Prep is always a must. Taking your time is always a must. Okay, again, I've been shaking this for the last couple of minutes. So what I'm gonna do now is take my flathead screwdriver and I'm gonna pop the top of this sucker up open. See what this stuff actually looks like. Ooh. What do you guys think? You like the color? I do like the color. All right, so again, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take this reactor and I'm gonna dump it inside of here. Took the top off. Here's the paint. Pour it all in there. Needs like a bleed valve on the bottle. There it goes. Okay, the reactor's in there. Put this cover back on. I have my popsicle stick. Just gonna mix this up. Make sure it's mixed up nice and good. And we're gonna get to painting. By the looks of it, I might have enough to do, quite a few coats. Because again, I'm only doing the front half of the caliper. I'm not doing the whole caliper. All right, let me put you guys down on the ground. All right, so here goes nothing. So again, I've got my popsicle stick in here, just so I can keep this stuff stirred. But all I'm gonna do is, so make sure when you get this brush, you just kind of pour me spare bristles off because you don't want the bristles in your paint. All right, so all I'm gonna do is start painting. Almost looks like a mustard green, but it could be because of the other green that's behind it. You know what I mean? So hopefully once it dries, we'll be all right. Oh, look, there's a bristle right there. Bristle. Get it? Yep. Some on the ground. Alright, so it says to make sure that you're doing even strokes, just to get even coverage, you know what I mean? So standard painting techniques. Behind here. Again, I'm not trying to put paint down in and around the bleeder screw per se, but obviously you need to make sure that you're painting in and around the bleeder screw. I don't know. What do you guys think? You like the color or not like the color? I think once it cures, it'll be okay. But it's right now it's on the other green, so it's not a very appealing color per se. There goes my neighbor. Friendliest dude in the neighborhood. Friendliest dude in the neighborhood. Again, I'm just trying to get as much coverage as possible. Oh, somebody's smoking weed. Smell it. It smells nasty. Again, sorry, I'm in your way. Making sure I cover the whole caliper. Color's actually growing on me a little bit. Again, I think it'll look, once it dries and cures, and then after I get a second coat on, I think we'll be all right. Alright, so first caliper is done. At least the first coat, anyways. Make sure I get under here. I gotta make sure I get these drips off of here because I don't need it. I need to make sure that it's as close to smooth as possible. All right, let's go do another caliper while this one dries. We'll come back to it and do a second coat. All right, let's do this one.
All right, so same thing. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stir this around a little bit. Make sure we're still good. Pick this one up. So I had another guy in my car club. He did his. Go check his out on his Instagram page, Cortana 392. He's got that like gunmetal gray Challenger. He's got a bunch of blue accents on it. Looks amazing. Tell me what you guys think. Again, with the set screw, I'm not pushing the paint into it. I'm just kind of going around it. So the directions say that it sets in about 15 minutes after application, which you guys heard me say a little while ago. So by the time that I finish the other three, that first one should be done. And then go back to it and start over again. Yeah, I'm not trying to be perfect with this one just because this is the I am trying to get a good coverage base, so when I come over it again, it'll be easier.
All right, guys, so the first coat is completed. So I literally just finished the front driver's side. So let's see what it looks like in the sun. What do you guys think? Yes, no? Yes, no? Obviously, if you get up close, you can tell I definitely need a second coat. But I just finished that one. So now I'm gonna go around and do the second coat. Yes, Hulk, we understand you're angry. All right, guys, they're finished. Don't look too bad. There's some brush marks, but I mean, overall, it looks better. You guys tell me what you guys think. I'm getting ready to put the wheels back on. Let me walk around to the other side too. This looks pretty good. And then I just cleaned and waxed the rims. I redid the tire letters on my rims. Just paint penned them. It's a pain in the dick. But all right, let's get these back on.